Dude, Mike Ishak, man. What's going on, bro? We finally made it.
Yeah, we made it. I kicked you out of your van.
Yeah, kicked me out of your van. My van brought me into your house.
My cat's here.
Damn, bro. What the hell's wrong with his head, dude?
What's up,
Dude,
kitty?
what the hell? Did he, like, shaved his body? And does he bite? Like,
No.
Damn, dude. He looks like one of those memes, dude.
It's
You
a
know what I
she.
mean? Oh, she looks like...
I shave her to look like a
Wow.
lion.
She looks like a Pokemon, dude.
Yeah, I know. I shave her to look like a lion.
Jesus.
It's called the lion cut.
The lion cut?
Yeah, I thought that if I was going to have a cat and I look like this, I got to make this cat look more masculine. And what more masculine look than make it look like a fucking lion?
Yeah, because if you have a cat, you're automatically a pussy. You know what I mean?
You are what you eat.
Yeah. Wow, dude. You are. Are you a dad?
Cat dad.
Okay. Yeah. Do you like being the masculine dude?
I have no choice.
Why do you mean you have no choice?
This is what I am.
But you have no choice in terms of, like, society made you this way? Like, or you have to be this way?
No, my parents made me this way.
Like your dad?
You don't know how babies are made.
No, like your parents made you this buff-ass Yemen dude?
It's genetics.
Genetics made you buff?
And LA Fitness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
But why? Like, why do you need all that muscle, bro? Like, are you gonna kill babies?
I like babies.
Okay.
I wouldn't kill a baby.
You wouldn't do that?
I think I would use these muscles to, I don't know. That's a very good question.
Choke a woman. Dude, what are you doing with all those muscles, bro?
I don't know, cuz. I'm just trying to fucking,
Dude, hell
trying
yeah.
to get me a woman.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, you were in the Marines. That's a pretty good pickup line. Like, what brought you there? Like, what?
I don't think the Marines ever got me laid, per se, like the Marines.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like, it's really funny how guys think. They're like, oh, man, like, they look at my car and they're like, man, dude, you must get a lot of chicks with that car. And I'm like,
Dodge Challenger?
The Dodge Challenger. And I'm like, I don't pick up chicks with, I don't think my car, I've never picked up a chick because of my car. The only thing my car attracts is fucking older Mexican dudes.
Yeah, dude.
They're like, hey, Holmes, that's a nice car,
Hey, boy,
man.
that's a nice car, dude.
That's a nice car, Holmes.
What's the horsepower on that thing,
And
Holmes?
I'm just like, dude, leave me alone.
Really, dude? That's the one fucking thing you get from that, right? You get like the... But you
All
know,
I get is dudes, like, even with muscles. With muscles.
only Mexican guys come to you like, damn,
Hey,
Holmes,
damn,
man,
Holmes. And I'm just like,
damn,
fuck. Because I
Holmes.
went to LA Fitness on El Centro. There's a lot of Mexicans there. So. No, man, but you know how it is, dude. Like, I mean, if you put on muscles and stuff like that, no girl is... No girls like, ooh, like that's not what attracts girls, man.
Yep, you're right about that, dude.
You know, I mean, you attract girls and you look like a pencil.
I know, bro. Hey, a pencil, and then I got my eraser right here, dude. Erasing virginities. Aha.
I like that. You should write that down.
Wait, but look. I mean, here's what I'll say, though. You drive this nice-ass car, and then you're like,
It's
I can't.
not that nice, but it's
Or
nice.
you drive a nice car, and you're like, hey, I'm not picking up women. I'm just picking up, like, fat Mexican dudes. But, like,
They're
bro.
not all fat.
But here's the thing, dude. Drive a van, bro. That's, like, an adventure. You know what I mean? Like, women see that surprisingly, bro. A lot of them are like, what? And then they'll be interested in you for, like, a while, and then they'll be like, all right.
Really?
I mean, it's usually me
I
who
don't
goes
think it's the van.
Yeah, I think
It's you.
You know what I think it is? I think they like me, and then they see the van. They're like, fuck, he's cool, but, like, he has his van, and I'll work with it. And then there's, like, a little bit of while that they do. But, like, I used to really lie about living in a van. Like, when a woman would ask me, like where I stay, and then I introduce her to my van. You know what it's like to have to, like, tell a woman that you live in a van? Bro, I didn't. I would just lie to them, dude. Like, I would just be like, yeah, I'm just van sitting for a friend. Mm-hmm. And then she'll be like, oh, so how long you been van sitting? I'm like, yeah, it's been like a year now. And she's like, a year? Like, that's really sweet of you. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, I was just feeling nice. So, like, he gave me the keys. I gave him, like, $10,000. Yeah, I live in this van. They're like, oh, shit.
And they buy it?
I mean, I think I've only lied to one woman. And then...
How hideous are these girls?
I'm not going to lie. I'm very picky, so they're not really that ugly. You know?
That ugly.
Well, they're not ugly at all, usually. They're usually like...
Do they listen to this podcast?
I hope not. There's like 9.
You got 9 girls on rotation?
Not on a rotation, just like... on
9 in your entire life?
On call. You know what I mean? Like, just like they're on... Like, you know when you get on stage, like, they'll call you like, hey, Mike, can you do a spot 7:15? Like, next Thursday, I'll just be like, hey, I have a spot open on the couch in the van, 9:00. Can you do it? And they were like, yeah, I can. I'm like, all right, it's a 10-minute set, and they'll pull up, 10 minutes.
Bust in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Oh no. Usually I tell them 10 minutes, but it's usually like 4.
But yeah.
I give them the light at like 3.
At least you're honest. Yeah. You give them the light at 2.
Yeah. I'm like, hey. I like waving at them. They're like, okay, it's my time to come right now.
Yeah.
I'm like,
give me your face.
Huh?
Yeah, give me your face.
Oh, like them.
The girl. Yeah. Time to show you. Give me your face.
Yeah. I'll like pick it up, turn it around, dude.
What's up,
I don't
Scott?
have a lot of sex, bro. I'll be honest.
Really?
Because every time it's like nighttime and I can either make the decision to like hit the club or like fuck, or the same thing. Every time I can hit the club or like hit the comedy club, I'll always choose the comedy club. Mm-hmm. So I don't even give myself like the time to do that. And I think I should because it's been a while.
You don't care about pussy that much?
Only when I'm on trips. Man.
Pussy is important to me.
Why? Does it help you keep your masculinity alive?
No, it tones it down. If I bust a nut, I can actually chill.
So just nut at home, bro.
No, I hate that.
So what do you do? Because like, dude, it takes so much effort. Like, you got to get up, and you got to put on clothes, and then you got to fucking go to the bar and like, meet her.
Oh, I don't do that.
What do you do?
I don't do that.
What's your strategy, bro? Tell us.
Sometimes I will take a girl out for a date, like because I'm so busy, dude, I'm just like, I'm not looking to play the date game because it takes so much resources to play the date game, right? You gotta find the girl, you gotta woo the girl, then you gotta take her out to eat, take her out for drinks, and you gotta listen to her, you gotta text her and shit and all that stuff, and then go out and listen. Those things I don't mind,
right?
So long as it's a girl that I really want to build a relationship with,
right?
But for the most part, man, I'm just like looking for girls that are down to keep it casual, hook up.
Long story short, you're
so
just looking for hookers?
No, I don't like hookers, bro.
Okay. Have you tried?
I have, and I don't like it.
Okay. I've never done that.
I don't like it. I don't know, dude. I like the hunt. Mm-hmm. You know how it is, man. If something is just given to you.
Yep.
So let's say, for example,
totally agree.
Somebody gives you a Ferrari. Okay? Cool. You got a Ferrari. I don't know about you, but I would feel better about the Ferrari if I worked my ass off to get that Ferrari.
Yep.
Right? I'm not saying that I wouldn't turn down a Ferrari. But I don't think I would enjoy it and respect it as much. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's the same analogy as like winning the lottery and just like one night waking up and you have $10 million, exactly. As opposed to like earning and grinding for it. Every time you see that amount of money, you're like, I fucking made this happen.
I think when you work to $10 million, that does something psychological.
That's what I'm saying right now. Like, it has nothing. I think that's why it makes it better to earn it. Is because like biologically, like inside of your brain, what's happening is like it's not the amount of money you made, but it's like the mental strength and like development that you went through. The mental strength,
the discipline, the hard work to get that $10 million. And then when you get that $10 million, you've worked your way up to $10 million that now you're pretty normalized in how you're going to act with that $10 million.
Yep, exactly.
If you give $10 million to someone who was living in a van, right? And I'm not saying that you have this personality, but a lot of people, dude, you would give it to them and it could ruin them.
Yep, because it's a mindset thing.
Because
they're not built for that.
Because they've been living the majority of their life having to work for everything they've got, and then now they got $10 million, and I think only a small percentage of people would be able to know what to do with that $10 million. The guy who worked to get that $10 million is going to try to figure out how to make that $10 million more.
And he's going to know, and if he loses $10 million, that guy's going to use his knowledge and experience
the skill set
to develop another million and then another $10 million.
Imagine if somebody got $10 million and they're an addict. Right? What the fuck is going to happen then?
Dude, that's the whole fucking like idea of consumerism. It's like you give $10 million. If you just give that to someone, that's kind of, if you think about it, even giving someone a Ferrari is like it works for lotteries because it's like it lets them play into their consumer mindset. And as long as you have this consumer mindset where all you're doing is just buying things, because like here's the thing, if you earn $10 million because of a business that you develop and investments that you put into and like things that you study,
you're a better person because of it.
Yup. And you can handle $10 million.
That's exactly the point.
And if you
can handle $10 million, and you're probably going to look at that $10 million as, okay, $1 million for myself, and then this other stuff for investments. You know, how can I invest this money so that I make more money so that people in my family can be well off as I go forward? You know, I think that's the key. So in terms of hookers, I have tried it. Don't like it.
Yeah, because it's
transactional.
It is, yeah.
And
a lot of relationships are, bro.
And listen, everyone's wired differently.
Yeah.
I know guys that get prostitutes and they love it.
Okay.
They love it. They're like, it's fucking great. And I'm just like, whenever I tried one, the nut wasn't even that good. Because my brain is wired in a way where it's like, she's not here for me. But if I pick up a girl, she wants to be with me, bro, that's everything. You pick up a girl and she looks at your van and she's like, fuck it, I like you anyway. Dude.
That's how I know I want to keep her. That's what I was trying to tell you, is that like when we were walking, I was like, that's why I like the van. Because the van for me is a symbol of the woman I want in my life. And
that can work both ways though.
It can, like, not in a
because you can get a lot of crazy fucked up girls that are like, ooh, van, fuck it.
No,
you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, there is that, but there has been women that I've like been like, okay, you want me? Well, here's what you gotta know. There is this van that I live in, and there is all this shit, and I list all of the shit.
All your red flags. You pull up all your red flags.
Day one, I show her everything, and I'm like, this is what you're signing a contract for, and then she signs it, and then we do our thing. And then I'd rather like I don't lie to women or like anybody. Like I used to.
You just lied about your age.
Well, yeah, that's it. But I have a perfectly good reason for that. Is that comedy clubs won't book me if they knew my real age, and I have to remain consistent with the age on my fake ID. So, so there you go. That should have given you some answers. But other than that aspect. No, I'm honest with like people that if I'm seeing a girl, then I'll be honest with her. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell her pretty much everything.
How long has a relationship lasted while you were in that van?
The longest relationship. That's the thing is I don't make an effort with like women a lot. So, I mean, it's probably been like 3 months, maybe, and then like another one that was like a month and a half, and like. It's like I'm not.
Is that
like,
really a relationship, or is that just a casual thing?
It's just like we go on dates and we like do stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Because I'm not because I don't have time for something serious.
Me neither. Bro.
You know what I mean? I gotta work. And I love the work, bro. But wait, so you said your dad isn't in your life? You hate him or something?
He might be dead now. I don't even know.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know.
How don't you know?
Don't talk to him.
But why'd you stop?
He became toxic, became really bad.
Yeah?
Yeah, towards the end, like, you know, towards the end, he got really bad, dude. Listen, I got thick skin.
Okay.
My sister and my mom don't.
Okay.
He was all hurting them too, you know, mentally, you know. So after that, it's like, you gotta go, Pops.
Like drugs and stuff got it?
No.
Just like going a little crazy?
Just controlling. Yeah. Old school fucking controlling.
Damn, bro.
You know, kind of a narcissist. He can never be wrong.
Sounds like every dad ever, bro.
No. But just out to hurt.
Okay, out to hurt you.
Yeah, I mean, I think he should have got therapy. I have a joke about it in my set. MikeFromDetroit.com. Come to one of my shows.
Yo.
I got a joke that I love about it, but it's basically he started off as a good father. He was a great father for the first maybe 2/3 of my life, and then I think he should have got therapy. I think something happened mentally, right? And then he just spiraled down into this toxic troll, dude. He just became toxic.
Damn.
To the point where it was unmanageable. You know what I mean? And to me, like, he would say mean things to me. I'm like, whatever. But then he would say some fucked up shit about my mom and my sister. That's it. You know, because he raised me to be good to women. Mm-hmm. And then he becomes this older guy, and now he's a piece of shit towards women. It's like, bro,
damn,
you raised me so well, you can't even fuck it up. Does that make sense? He installed some really good software early on, and then his software got corrupted, and then he tried to corrupt my software, and it's like, bro, sorry,
mine is made, bro. I got security.
The firmware is updated.
Is that why you became a Marine?
I did. I joined the Marines to get away from him. The Marines was a vacation.
Yeah?
He was, bro, my dad was a ball buster, bro.
So what'd you do in the Marines?
Nothing.
What?
I mean, you know, I was a mechanic.
Really? Bro, I thought you were shooting motherfuckers, bro.
No, man. You know there's Marines that are cooks.
Wait, so you were a mechanic? What do you mean you were a mechanic?
I was a mechanic on a light armored vehicle.
Really? Like, what type of shit did you do? Like, did you, like, build, like, missiles and shit or nah?
No, I just fixed the tanks. Just fixed them.
Damn, bro. That's actually dope, bro. You fixed tanks.
It was all right.
But you're buff, dude. So
I wasn't buff then.
You were just like some skinny. Are you Muslim?
I was pretty lean, yeah.
Oh, okay, dude. Dude, I was just in Morocco. Have you ever been there?
No, I wasn't.
Bro, dude, everyone.
Are you
amazing.
Moroccan?
I'm like a Moroccan Jew.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it was amazing being able to like, and everyone there is Muslim. You know what I mean? But they're so welcoming. You know? Because like I was
even if they find out you're Jewish.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Like you tell them you're Jewish, and they were like,
that's what people in America, we have this cartoon view of how Jews and Muslims are.
Yep.
We only think Jews and Muslims are Israel and Palestine.
That's the fucking problem, and that's
all we think that's here. So then when they see a Jewish person and a Muslim person being friends, they're like, what? It's like, shut the fuck up. Did you have any idea that Muslims and Jews have been so close for thousands of years? It's only been recently when the conflict between Israel and Palestine that thing started blowing out of fucking proportion.
But it makes sense that it did. You know what I mean? And you want to hear the crazy thing?
It makes sense that what did?
That that there's conflict.
Yeah.
You know? And this is the crazy thing, is my whole life I was raised in a way of like respect everyone, love everyone, no racism. But I was also born in Israel, so I was surrounded by people who were raised to hate Palestinians. And in my brain, we're tribal human beings. So I'm like, okay, my tribe, Israelis, don't like Palestinians. They must have done something wrong.
But that's not all Israelis.
Right.
We got to make that clear.
Then you're right about that too.
We got to make that clear.
You know what? You're right. There's the radical side. It's not like everybody hates everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what the propaganda is, what the media want you to see. Because as long as there's hate, then there's fear. And as long as there's fear, people are being controlled.
And they got their own propaganda there.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's, you know, that's the thing. This is a media war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But here's the beautiful thing about this whole thing is that despite me being raised, like let's say for those who were like Israelis who were raised like to go to the army and to hate, their like psychology is like, oh, well, we hate them because like they're terrorizing us and they hate us and they're the problem and they're trying to take our country in this. But then when I was in Morocco, I sat down with this Muslim guy, right? And he had like a galabia. He had like everything on, like the hat and whatnot. And we were having like a 45-minute conversation about the conflict. And we were in a dispute. Like we were disagreeing. And it was like getting like pretty heated. And
really?
Yeah, and I was defending like Israel and he was defending Palestine. And then he made a really good point. And he really like, and I think in the moment I didn't really think about it. But when I left and I went back to my hotel because like my whole family was like still sleeping and I was like wandering around, I thought to myself like, you know what I realized? We were both making the same claims at each other, but like I was defending A and he was defending B, but we're both saying the exact same thing. Like I'm not in the wrong and he's not in the wrong. He's in the wrong to me and I'm in the wrong to him, but both of us are pretty much saying the same thing. Does that make sense?
If you break down the borders and you break down the politics, you'll just fucking realize it boils down to a human issue.
Hell yeah. It's always just like inside the mind. You know what I mean? But human issue, you mean like psychologically?
No, it's just people.
Okay, right. But people are tribal. That's why we have borders and why we have politics, because that's like we are born to be racists. That's what I think it is. Like I think you can preach non-racism and whatever, but internally there's like
I don't know about that. I don't think we're born to be racist. I think racism is taught. I think we're born, I think we have a biological inclination to try to simplify whatever answer it is. And I think simple answers make our brains satiated so that we can be like, that's the answer. So racism is the easiest answer. Racism is the easiest fucking answer. It's so much easier to be like, those people are like that. That's the end of the story. Back to lunch. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then when you break it down, it's more complex than that, and more people don't want to think that deep.
So I think that, like, based on what you're saying right now, it's kind of like we are taught racism, but the way that it's instilled in our brains and the reason why it works is because of that simplicity. But why that simplicity hits us is because naturally, regardless, our genetics have like evolved to be
our biology
tribal.
is that way. Yeah, we are like, we have an inclination to be tribal. And then
then people like politics and
or
like
parents
and
you know what I mean?
Figures that we look up to manipulate our tribal.
That.
Yeah, they manipulate our tribal tendencies to be like, hey, us and them, hate this, hate that, and that's why I guess there's that racism that we all have instilled in us. And you know what I think does a great job at racism?
What was the point that Moroccan guy made?
So this was the point he made, and this is what I thought was like beautiful. So I think after this, it really showed me something. So in Morocco, when you go there, it's the city of Fez is like a historic like city in Morocco, and there's just this strip of, it's all bricks. The walls are made of bricks, and you see a bunch of like green doors around you. You're just walking down like a open hallway, and there's just Moroccans and like different like mini stores selling you things on the street. Like everyone's like trying to get you to buy something. So he points at one of those stores across from his, and he's selling like some souvenirs, and that guy's selling like some shoes. So he's like made a point, and then I made a point, and then he goes, how would you feel right now if that was your store? Okay, and then someone, like, let's just say like a bunch of like a group of like Muslim like figures walked up to you, and they were like, hey, you have to get out of here, you got to pack all your things and leave right now and make room. Like we're like, he's gonna move in this spot and he's gonna sell his things, and you got to take your things and you got to go.
Yeah, or we're gonna take this store and you got to move your store to the bathroom.
Right, exactly. That's even better, right? So he was like he kind of like he was saying like, you developed all this and then now someone's just taking it away. And he was like, we weren't taught to hate, we were taught to like defend our people. And then that's when I really realized that's what we were taught. And they're like, hey, hate them because they're trying to take our land. And then they are like, hey, hate them because they took our land. And I'm like, dude, that's like some unresolved conflict that's not gonna be resolved unless like there's either a giant war or a giant compromise. You know what I mean? Because that didn't.
The problem is that especially when you go to Israel and the whole Palestine conflict, I don't know what it's like in Israel, but when I went to Palestine, I did comedy there in 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
They have a comedy club in Palestine?
No, there's a
park, bro.
There's
a cardboard stage.
No, it was actually in some venues, but it was a touring comedy club. We did Bethlehem, Jerusalem, and Ramallah. And it was a Palestinian comic named Amr Zahar. Every year he brings a bunch of American comics and brings them to Palestine to give Palestinians comedy, which is fucking great. Now, like, I remember I talked to this guy Nabi, he's a boxer. I asked him, I was like, so, you know, are you guys going to fight again? You know, are you guys going to be pushing hard to fight? And he was like, Mike, we're fucking done with that shit. He goes, majority of Palestinians are we're done with the violence, man. We just want it to stop. And then I go, yeah, but I go, back in the day, man. He goes, yeah, back in the day, you know, we were like, we don't have an army. We don't have an air force. We don't have tanks. We don't have planes. We have nothing. That's why we strapped ourselves with bombs to try to defend our land. We have nothing. And we thought that the world would see that and finally figure out that we need to help the Palestinians. But that's not happening. And he goes, you talk to the majority of Palestinians, they don't want to play that game anymore. You know? So when I talk to a lot of people over there, man, it literally is like, fuck Israel. But at the same time, it's like, when can we fucking just get our rights?
It's the same. Yeah.
You know, but then when you look at Israel, Israel's got the strongest position to make concessions. Because to me, it's funny because Israel will be like, the Palestinians need to make concessions. Well, if you look at the definition of concessions means that you have to give up something that you own. And the way Palestinians look at it, it's like, bro, you took our homes. How the fuck you asking us to make concessions? And, you know, whatever happened in 67 where the borders were drawn, okay. Problem is, you still got these settlers out there spitting on Palestinians, shooting them, killing them, taking their homes right now. Like when I went to Palestine, they had Jewish-only highways that go from Israel into settlements that are in Palestine. You can just see them. They're up in the air, like these long-ass highways. And I'm just like, that is some fucked up shit, man. So to me, it's like this idea of Jews and Muslims hate each other. That's not the truth. I think the real thing is the political elements of both sides. You got the political element of Israel that are Zionists.
Yeah, it's just what
and
are
then
we
you
being
got the
fed?
political element of Palestine. They don't want to make concessions. So then you got the people caught in the fucking middle.
Right. That's kind of like the issue is that when is there going to be a change of like a compromise or something?
Problem is you got power hungry people.
That's
And when you got power hungry people, bro, they are going to do everything they can to keep that fucking power. I mean, look what happened to your one prime minister back in the day. I forget his name. The one who got assassinated. He was the one that was really trying to bring the Palestinians and the Jews together, and the Israelis assassinated his ass.
Really?
Yes,
I don't know
dude.
how I didn't know that. I don't even know his name, dude. I gotta go back and
This
do
was
my
years
research.
ago. This is like years ago. This is years ago. And then now you have an ultra-conservative government that are pretty much like the Republicans here, where they're just nose to the ground, fuck the Palestinians. But then again, if you talk to Israelis individually, you got some Israelis that are like, yeah, fuck the Palestinians. And you got some Israelis that are like, no, dude, we need to make shit work.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to make shit work. Like it's the majority of people, but there's a lot of people there, and the reason why a lot of the hate is coming from is from the fear. Is that like terrorism is very like real in Israel. You know what I mean? Like people see it on TV, but it's like really fucking real there. Like when I was visiting last year, there was a terrorist attack a block away from me. And that was like the closest I've ever been to like a terrorist attack. And I was like, and it just creates this fucking hate inside you because you're scared. Because you're like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to run. Like, and now you're just in there in fear. Like, I remember like I was there for like another like week. And the whole time I was just like I was paranoid. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of the paranoia and the fear that is engraved in you kind of develops this hate. But then there's also like the hate of like, okay, well, that fear stops you from looking at the other side and being like, okay, well, look at their position too. Like, look what they're going through.
Not only that, there's the fear among Zionists and Jews overall of like, if you're Jewish and you feel like the Palestinians are being mistreated, and then you decide to talk up for the Palestinians, now you're a self-hating Jew. So there's the fear of being ostracized vehemently by certain vocal Jewish people that would be like, look at this guy trying to stick up for the Palestinians. And to me, which is really funny, because if you look at Jewish culture, the Jews for the longest time were the biggest proponents of the underdogs. You know, Jewish people have a very long history of sticking up for people who can't stick up for themselves. That there's a long history of Jewish people being like that. But then when you take this element of Zionism, it's the complete opposite of that. So to me, it's just like, it's kind of sad, because if you look at the history of Jewish people, the stuff that they've contributed to the world, science, literature, politics, the Jewish people were the first people to create interhuman politics. I mean, it's just to me, it's sad, because if you look at the history of how amazing the Jewish people were for humanity, and then you can see how all of a sudden that element doesn't work when it comes to the Palestinian-Israeli conflict. At least that's my view of it.
I mean, that's all has to do with like the control and the power, like you were saying. Is that like what are as long as here's what it is. As long as you teach your kids to hate the other side, there will always be hate.
Always.
If the Palestinians keep teaching their kids to hate Israel, and even if the Israelis stop teaching their kids to hate Palestine, and Palestine continues, or vice versa, there's always still going to be hate because one side hates the other. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be this like unresolved conflict, because like you can't run away from the problem that's happening, but it's also like who really has the power to make the decision? And
Israel. Israel has the most power. Israel's in the most comfortable position. But it's not as easy.
It's not that easy, because they're not really in the most comfortable position, because they're right in the center of a bunch of other Arabic countries and Muslim countries.
They stole land in an area where people don't want them there. That's dangerous. That's what happens.
Well, they were.
I mean, that's what happens if you go steal people's homes. People are going to hate you, and that's going to be a very terrible place to live.
I think they were given the land. It was like Britain that was like making all like the decisions of land in that time, right? And then that.
So Britain had a mandate of the area at the time, and then when the Britain Empire started collapsing, they promised the Palestinians when they leave that they would give it to the Palestinians. But then within a negotiation deal around World War I, Israel was formed, and they said, fuck you to the Palestinians. And then, you want to talk about in terms of like they gave the land. Okay, so Britain gives the land, but who's Britain to fucking give that land? There's one. And then two, you have Palestinians that are living in houses that were passed on for hundreds of years. So you have people that live in these homes that their great, 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 great grandparents lived in, and then now they're being thrown out of their homes saying, you don't fucking live here no more. And I don't care which way you cut it, it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. But at the same time, there's also on the Palestinian side and the Arab side, this other mindset that I don't like. And to me, it won't bring peace. You have the majority of Palestinians that I talk to that say we should just go back to the 67 borders, right? Back when 67 war happened, we should go back to the 67 borders. You have Palestinians who are like, let's just go back to the 67 borders and call it a truce. You guys won that fucking land that you took. Fine, let's just live our lives. But then you got Palestinians and other Arabs that are like, no, we're getting it all back. Mm-hmm. And to me, I'm like, dude, how much longer do you want this shit to go? And then you have the same thing in Israel. You have Israelis that are like, let's go back to the 67 borders.
The thing,
let's make it a two-state solution. And then you got Israelis that are like, fuck no, we're taking it all.
So it's like as long as there's the internal politics are unresolved in either side, then it's like there's going to be a very little.
I just hope one day, man. I hope in my lifetime there's a solution. Whether it's a two-state solution, a fucking one-state solution, whatever it is that brings peace. Because the thing that pisses me off is I meet Jewish people, we vibe. Arabs and Jewish people, when you fucking take politics aside, we vibe.
When I meet anyone, it's always a vibe. You know what I mean? It's
with Israelis.
I'm talking about, but like, here's the thing. I'm always gonna put my country first because it's my country that I was born in. You know what I mean? And obviously anybody who was born in like a Muslim family or in a Muslim country is gonna put their country forward. But the thing I want to put before any of that is just like humanity in general. Is that like, yo, I like you were just saying right now, like politics aside, issues aside, like tension aside, it's like at the end of the day, if we could sit down and have a conversation, like if you're a good human being in your heart, that's what I care about. Like it's not like the people underneath.
Yeah, but the thing is, politics fucks that all.
Yeah,
up.
because the people living in Israel and the people who are living in Palestine aren't making these decisions. You know what I mean? Like they're just living and waiting, kind of like you're saying you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the problem with the media, is that like they generalize countries to be like, this is how everybody thinks, and then here, this is how everybody thinks. Here.
There's so much lies here. You can't be pro-Palestine here without being called anti-Semitic. Well, to me, which I think is ridiculous, because Palestinians are Semitic. If anything, Palestinians are more Semitic than Israelis. Palestinians,
Semitic, dude. Israelis are Jews, bro.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, there's a lot of people in Israel that are not Semitic. They're just white.
In Israel?
Yeah.
Like American people?
Whatever.
You know, 78%.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, to me, that term anti-Semitic has been like used in a way to like really bolster like a negative political thing towards the Palestinian cause. In America, if you say anything against Israel, you're now anti-Semitic. How's that anti-Semitic to say the state of Israel sucks?
Like it's like to who? It's like everybody can have an opinion, but you know what? Everyone's opinion just stems from an opinion that they took. And like you were saying earlier, is we like to simplify things because it makes it easier to just say, this is what I believe, instead of really sitting down and not overcomplicating it, but really dissecting it to understand it for yourself. People are just like, oh, no. This celebrity said they agree with this person, then I'm going to go with this idea. Oh, no, this politician that I like said this is how he believes.
Absolutely.
It's not there's a lot of that. That's how the majority of us are.
Yeah.
And even we do that with specific things.
Shit.
It's simplifying and just like generalizing. It's like, let me just generalize an idea.
To me, I think it's just sad that you can't be like, I criticize the government of America all the time. This is my country. I love it. But I'm going to be the first person to be like, yo, we are doing some fucked up shit in my country that I don't agree with.
Okay,
right?
Like, and then one of those things.
And then if somebody else has something negative about my government and what it's doing, I'm not going to call them racist, right? But then if I sit there and go, Israel is fucked up for what they're doing to the Palestinians, the Anti-Defamation League will go, you're anti-Semitic. It's like, how am I anti-Semitic saying that a government apparatus is a piece of shit? You know, but that's the brainwashing we have here.
In America.
Yeah.
All we have, because here's the thing, all we have is the media, right? We can't really know what's going on in there. So the best that they do, that here in America we do is just like, is watch the news and then pick a side. You know what I mean? So when in May of 2020, when like Palestine shot was it like 30,000, like 3,000 missiles? I don't know how much it was, but like they just shot so many missiles over. I remember there was like in our schools, like there was just so much like just people look out of nowhere. Like you'll just see like Chinese or like white people just posting like either just like pro-Israel or like pro-Palestine shit. And I was like, bro, I remember I was taking a shit one time and I was on my phone and I was like, bro, stop fucking dick riding like all these like figures that you look up to that are just choosing a side.
Please.
And just like, oh, yeah. Well, Sandra Boxen said that she doesn't like Palestine, so fuck them. And this is what I believe because this is what they believe. But that's what everybody does, bro. Like if you don't know anything about what's going on and you just want to be involved so you can choose a side, just so you can, it's again that tribal mentality. You just want to feel involved. Choose a side.
If Israel was on the other side of that fence, I'd be supporting Israel.
Dude, you know what?
If Israel was on the side, let's say it was the roles were reversed.
You want to know what the real change is that I want? Dude, I want the change that's going to be like, dude, nobody fucking wins and we all are just humans.
Buddy.
That's far from me.
I hope I live to see the day, bro.
You know what? That's never going to happen, though?
Why?
I'll tell you why. What do Americans, Americans, Israelis, what do people do when they get home?
Jack their dick.
What do they watch on TV?
The news?
After porn, boom, they watch the news.
Yeah.
And how does the news...
I got a whole bit about how the news is
The news
poison.
Profits from fear.
Sure.
And their whole purpose when they're in their fucking meetings is how can we create the most fear?
Eyeballs.
And get the most views. And what they do
But there is a bias, though. There is a bias.
What?
There is a bias in our media. Our media is so biased. There's like...
Of course it is.
So biased. So it's like, there's certain things.
Well, you know why it's biased? Because there's politicians who want to pay, who have the money to pay these media streams to be like, hey, I want you to lean towards this side so that I can make a proposal to say that, hey, if like once I create this fear within the media to this audience, I can tell them, hey, I'm gonna solve this problem.
It's the other way around.
What do you mean?
It's not the politicians that pay the media. The politicians don't listen. The politicians will pay the media for like screen time or whatever. It really is the lobbyists. It's the big lobby groups. They're the ones that drive everything. So you got whatever, the medical lobby, the war lobby, the Israeli lobby, you name whatever lobby that's got a lot of money, they're pumping money into the coffers of politicians, and that's what makes the politicians speak that way. So like when Obama...
The rich, it's kind of like the rich, the politicians, then the media.
Obama was a great example. Obama came in and he's like, I'm going to be the anti-war president. And I have a joke about this. And then he bombed everything. He bombed so much, he ran out of bombs. Obama has bomb in his name. So to me, it's like, in the end, no matter what you do as a politician, This is what I promise. That is what I promise. In the end of the day, once you get in there, nah, son, we have an agenda.
You know
and
why
you need
else
to follow
not?
it.
Exactly.
Because
the president is just the face.
Bro, the war lobby is the biggest money. That's why America is always in some kind of a war. Obama said, hey, I'm going to end the wars. And then when he finally became president, he's like, nah, we're not going to end the wars. I meant end the war in Iraq and move it to Afghanistan. So because the war lobby is like, you got to keep us in business. You want us to give you money, Obama, for your next campaign? You better keep us in war. That's why we're always in some type of fucking war.
Because it all starts with money.
That's it.
Well, here's the thing.
That just goes back to your saying the politicians are giving money to the media.
Well,
it's
that's
the
the
other
thing.
way. It's the other way around.
It's not. Well, the media is not giving money to the politicians. The media is collecting money from someone.
Sure.
But the politicians, like for example, the president. Like you think Joe Biden's really making these decisions? Like the whole.
I don't think any president is making any decisions.
Yeah, they're the face for the people.
That's it.
They're like, hey, tell them this and that in
they're
a nice
punching
way.
bag for us.
Yep. And then
so I get mad.
We
I
take
can
it
just
out
go
on
Biden.
Oh, fuck Biden. Oh,
and
fuck
then what
Trump.
does that do?
Trump fell. Bro, Biden fell off a bike. Dude,
Yeah.
how are we trusting this guy?
It simplifies
You're not
things.
trusting this guy. You got the exactly.
It simplifies.
It all comes back to that
because
We
it's
just wanna
more complex,
yeah.
and we don't want to think complex. We want easy answers. It's a much easier answer to go fuck Trump, fuck Biden, fuck Obama, instead of fuck XY lobby and what they're doing, and fuck this group and what they're
like
doing
this.
and how they're manipulating.
It's not even. It's not even the politicians who are paying the media. It's like the rich pay the rich fund a politician,
sure, and say do this,
and then they're saying if it will give you the money if you create these rules and these laws, and then they go okay, and then they have them, and then they pay the media to advertise that politician.
Why do you think the vaccines were pushed so hard?
Dude, the vaccines
were pushed so hard because
of
of the fucking the lobby of Pfizer and Johnson and Johnson. They pumped money into these fucking politicians.
Dude, yeah.
They pumped money and then they control the media because the media is like, we don't want to lose these advertisers.
Right.
So what's the media do? Vaccines are great. What do the politicians do? Vaccines are great.
Right.
Because they're getting all this fucking money. That's how it works, bro. It's the opposite way. You think it's like the politicians get the money and they influence. No, it's the rich. They influence the politicians. The politicians influence the media, and then the media wants the fucking money.
The politician influences the people, but the media controls what the people see. So the rich, the connection between the rich and the politicians is what gets them to the media. It's like, okay, we'll promote this.
It's all money, bro.
It's all money because at the end of the day, we want to be at the top. We want to be the top like of the economy. You know what I mean? So the wars, they're like, okay, this war is gonna bring us money. Okay, let's start this war. This is going to bring money this way. So it's like, yeah, here's the face. Okay, it's Donald Trump. You could hate him all you want.
Yeah.
But he's just an idiot, like waving his hand around.
And he's doing the same thing Obama did.
What do you mean?
So what I'm saying is, it's like every president comes in and just takes the baton from the other president and continues the same bullshit.
Right, because they're not really changing anything.
They're not.
But the thing is this.
There's certain things that they
but
change.
But this is where the media comes in.
Low level, low money making things, they change.
Okay.
Big level, big money things, they all do the same shit, dude. Oh, when Trump came in, he was like, I'm going to stop the drone wars, right? Because Obama was Mr. Drone. He droned everything. His last year before he came out, he ramped up bombing. He dropped 26,000 bombs in 1 year. His last year out. Why do you think that is? That's because he's trying to make the war industry happy. And then Trump comes in and Trump goes, I'm going to stop the drones. Trump comes in, drones went up 400%. So it's all lies, bro.
Well, it's not that they went up 400% because of Trump. It's kind of like the government has an agenda, and the president is the face of that agenda.
Amen.
So it's like but it's kind of really cool because then you look where the media comes in, and the media comes in, and their goal is this. Okay, so the rich now paid the rich is now paying this politician to promote their views, to influence the media. So now, then they're like, okay, media, we want you to create this fear in the public's eyes. Okay, what's that fear? Oh, there's gonna be a World War III.
Or vaccines.
Okay, so yeah, let's do the vaccines.
COVID.
There's a new disease or a new virus spreading around, and they need to protect themselves. And now this company Pfizer is now paying a politician to say, hey, look, no matter what happens, I promise you that if you elect me, I'm going to make sure that we solve this crisis as soon as possible so that you can go back to work and pay for your family. But if you don't elect me, then this virus is going to continue spreading,
Sure.
and then your families are going to die and have
And then
no
at
money.
the same time,
and then
the medical industry is like, here's all this money for your fucking campaign.
Yep.
Push the vaccine. And then they go to the
And then-
media. Here's
they-
all these money for your advertisers. We're going to advertise with CNN. If you
Yep.
don't fucking push that shit, we're going to... Why do you think Tucker Carlson got fucking kicked off of Fox News? You know, no matter how you think of Tucker Carlson or whatever, it's because he, towards his last year, decided, fuck all this shit. I'm going to say what I want. And boom, got out of there. Why?
what'd he say?
So Tucker Carlson got canned because he started going off script. He started really reporting shit that
Was
we
true.
really needed to hear.
Yeah.
Right? And then they got rid of him. Why? Why did Fox News get rid of him? Because he was jeopardizing their ad dollars. Because if Tucker Carlson starts talking against the vaccine, is Pfizer going to fucking pay for advertising on Tucker Carlson? So now the media is like, whoa, no, we don't want to lose this money. Pro-vaccine.
And then the Pfizer,
Same thing with the politician.
Pfizer's like, we don't want to fund your network
Exactly.
stream anymore if he's going to talk shit about.
And then you got a politician who's like, I'm not pro-vaccine. He's not getting that Pfizer money, and then he doesn't become president.
So as long as you're watching the news, you're always going to be the man in the box. That's the thing.
Please stop watching the news. Stop watching it. It's poison. It just gets us to hate each other, and I cannot fucking stand it.
It thrives off of us hating each other.
It thrives off of making money by any means
But the
necessary.
money comes
and then
from
the
us hating
byproduct
each
is
other.
that we get to hate each other.
Because this is the downtrend that I figured out. So it goes like this. It goes, so the news creates fear, which then creates hate, and that hate creates an us and them mentality, which inevitably creates racism.
Divide and conquer.
Divide and conquer. So it creates that racism.
Whether it's racism or classism, whatever it is.
Okay,
It's all
racism, classism, it's just divide.
It's
just
a
to divide.
yes.
The purpose is to divide. So that's how racism happens, and that's how like people start now choosing sides. But as long as there's sides and as long as people hate each other, then the government can thrive.
The
you know what I mean?
political author Noam Chomsky, who's Jewish, said it the best.
How do you say it?
He said, in America, we have a class war disguised as a race war. Think about that for
Ooh,
a
that's
second.
a good one, dude.
We have a class war disguised as a race war. Our real issue is classism. Our real issue is the rich versus the poor. But nobody's thinking about that because we're brainwashed to think it's a race issue.
So it's kind of like the news.
It's a diversion.
The news is kind of like the president of the government and is racism to classism, because racism is kind of like the face for what's really happening behind it, which is the classes.
That's a good, yes, exactly. Going back to our analogy of that.
Yeah.
Great analogy.
So now it's kind of like they're like, hey, put your focus on black people being this, like the Black Lives Matter march and all that. But you can't say the Black Lives Matter march wasn't necessary. But I guess it could make sense for like, okay, they are being mistreated. Why? Because of a class issue behind the race issue.
Amen.
Because
and
they're like,
we're not
the
talking about the
racists
class
are...
issue. So what they do is they divert our attention away from the real fucking people.
As long as you're consuming anything, you're never gonna make decisions for yourself. Which is why it's very important to select what you consume.
Yes, or unless you can consume with critical thinking. So when I watch the news, I'm constantly looking for the rub. I'm looking. Yes, I'm looking for how
the
fast I can
hot
come.
fucking CNN lady, like, oh yeah, this fucking.
I jerk off with
Therese.
sandpaper. I like the friction.
Yeah,
no,
dude.
but my point is that you can consume.
You are a testosterone motherfucker, bro.
Just how I do it.
Yeah, dude. All right.
I got no neck. So like, you can consume anything so long as you do it critically. So long as you're thinking critically. So when I watch the news, I'm watching for the lie. Right?
Well, then,
so I'm not sitting there and going, tell me what to think.
That's not good though. If you're going in there looking for the lie, you're doing the same thing but backwards, because you're not going in with an open mind.
No. I'm saying there, of course I'm going there with an open mind. But you also have to be looking for the lie.
Well, not the lie, the inconsistencies.
It's not just the inconsistencies.
And the truth.
So for example.
So don't look for the lie, look for the truth.
For example, something fucking tragic happens that we're all supposed to pay attention to.
Okay.
Right?
All right. There was a shooting at Michael Jackson High School.
No, they're going to report that.
25 people
They're
died.
going to report that because that's whatever. But let's say it's, for example, the billionaires that died in the Titanic. The Titanic thing, right?
Okay.
The same day, 700 migrants on a boat drowned. 700 people trying to fucking make it to America died. And no one in the news covered that.
Right.
Right? So here's something that we really should be paying attention to, but instead they're diverting our attention to. Look how poor these rich people are.
Oh, no, these three guys.
Oh, the billionaires. They do that all the time. Something happens in some part of the country that we're really supposed to pay attention to, that if we do pay attention, let's say vaccines, right? The vaccines are hurting people. Instead, what are they going to do? Let's talk about Britney Spears. Let's talk about how crazy she is. You know, so it's a diversion. That's the stuff that I look for. Because if you look at a bird's eye view, a lot of the times the things that the media is supposed to be reporting, they're not. They're reporting something else. They're creating a fucking diversion over here while they're actually doing something over there.
It's like chess, bro. But you can't say that it's not a giant evil genius strategy. This is the coolest cat I've ever seen.
She's cool as fuck.
It's ridiculously, like, it's clever. Like, it's really fucked up, but it's like it works for them.
That's
like,
why I implore all of us to try to stay.
So you know what I think is this?
Bro.
It's not about being open-minded. It's about, like, if you're gonna complain about it, if you're gonna hate what the government's doing, if you're always gonna watch the news and feel like fucking shit about it, then stop complaining and start fucking figuring out that, like, okay, start thinking, what's the alternative? Like, what? Okay, so if you're not happy with this, what would you rather it be? And how can you actually start making a change towards that little fucking person that you are, that is like a drop in the bucket? How can you be a little bit more than a drop in the bucket? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, like right now, we're like rationalizing these things, but a lot of people can complain about it and then do what? Like, you know what I've realized? It doesn't help to just talk about it. Like, I've seen a lot of podcasts just like talking about these things, but then people watch it and they go, yeah, raise awareness, yeah. But these are the same people who don't take fucking action in their lives. Because these are the same people who sit and watch the news. Exactly. And the people who sit and watch the news are people who don't take action. You know why? Because they're driven by fear, because that's what the news has created them to be.
If you're not going to take action, then don't get mad about shit. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get mad about something
So what action are you taking?
The only actions I'm taking, bro, is just making my life as good as possible so I can help other people in my immediate life better. Mm-hmm. That's the most I can do. I'm not going to be someone who's going to try and change the world. I'm not even going to try. I'm not. But I'm a comedian. I do a lot of talking. That's why a lot of my stand-up always has social commentary. I want to let people know, with laughing, how I view the world. Mm-hmm. And how I hope you can see how I see the world. And hopefully, maybe if I can like enlighten you to something that you never thought about before. It's just a small drop in the bucket, but at the very least, I'm not sitting here in my apartment watching the news, getting mad as fuck, and then not doing anything about it.
Hey, and you know what, dude? That's why I love living in a van, bro. I don't have a fucking TV. Like I am... It's actually a form of ignorance, too, because I am so unaware what the fuck is happening in the world. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's also kind of bad.
Well, not like so unaware. I'm aware of what I need to be aware of, but like if like fucking like if Britney Spears died, like I would probably find out, like, you know, like from an open mic or
I'm kind of the same way. I don't watch the news, dude. I read it. I don't
even read it, bro.
You know what I do? I listen to podcasts that are news podcasts, and I try to triangulate my opinion, meaning I'll listen to a conservative podcast, I'll listen to a moderate podcast, and then I'll listen to a hardcore liberal podcast. And I like doing that because then it triangulates your opinion. Then you kind of get an idea of how conservatives are being brainwashed, how liberals are being brainwashed, and then I find that I'm able to censor my opinion. Does that make sense?
Okay, I get you.
You know, you watch the news, dude.
If you think about it, in that case, that all that really means is that if you do that, it's kind of like if a person were to be like, I want to get every single side to like the Israeli-Palestine conflict. But then you think about it, you know why it would never end, even if Israel and Palestine did resolve it? Because considering the fact that the media controls everything pretty much, or like is controlled and then controls the public, as long as everyone in America has their like true held beliefs that like if they're still choosing a side or like taught to like see the conflict, there will always still be that conflict, because no matter what, even if they do give the land, they'll like the headline will probably be like, Israel gives land back to Palestine, yet Palestine is planning another attack. Like it'll be something like that.
It might be something that. I mean, for sure.
And then it will just lead to more. Like it's a never ending profitable business.
And then
that's what it is.
In our media.
That's what conflict is. It's just a never-ending profitable business.
Sure.
That's what it is.
But then in our media, here's another brainwashing thing, right? The Jews control the media. Mm-hmm. That is the dumbest fucking thing to say, and it's also a very simplified racist
It's another
way,
simplified racist
because
thing.
if you say the Jews control the media, I got Jewish friends that have nothing to do with the fucking media. If you say the Jews control the media, you're living in a van. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So my point is that that's that simplification.
Yeah, bro, I live in a van, bro. You think I got anything to do with this shit?
That's the simplification. Now, you can say that Hollywood was created by Ashkenazi Jews. They started this shit. And a lot of the people that are in the highest positions of Hollywood are Jewish. Does that mean the Jews control the media? No. But what do everybody say? What do people say? The quick thing they say, the Jews control the media. And that is inflammatory.
It's easy.
That's inflammatory. It's inflammatory. It causes hate. So now you got people going, fuck the Jews, man. They control the media. It's like, no, dude. So if the Jews control the media, I control oil because I'm Arab. Because Saudi Arabia has the majority of the oil in the world, now I control the fucking oil? That's the same way of saying that the 9/11 hijackers who fucking hijacked the towers, now I'm a terrorist.
Well, that's what it was for a while.
But that's my point. My point is that inflammatory type of simplified mindset causes hate. And it's easy. It's easy for people to be like, Jews control the media. It's harder for people to break it down on a complex thing. Kill Jewish people. No.
Hey, only show that I'm only going to put that as the podcast.
Yeah.
And then
that's it. On repeat over and over
again.
Yeah.
That's going to be my media, dude. The Jews control this podcast, and now
you know what I think
we're going to make you look bad.
You know what I think the solution is? And a lot of other people said this, and I've been saying this for years, ever since I started understanding politics. Get rid of soft monies in politics. You know what soft monies are? So there's a term in politics, hard money and soft monies, okay? Soft monies is what a politician can get from corporations, from people, from Pfizer, from whatever to fund their campaign. Hard money is the money that you get from the government. So if you're a politician and you're running for president, if you get so many signatures and so many people that you could show that these people want you to be president, the government gives you a specific amount of money for your campaign. That's hard money. That's money from the people to run your campaign. But the politicians go after soft monies more. They go and rub shoulders with the military industry and be like, hey, man, if you vote me in, I'll make sure you stay in war. They go to the Pfizer like, hey, man, if you vote me in, I'll make sure the fucking vaccines. That's where the real problem is. If we can get rid of all private money in politics, you know what it's going to do? It's going to change the landscape of politicians. The type of politicians that you will see in Washington, D.C. won't be these money-hungry people that are only doing it for the money. You'll change it. You'll start getting grassroots type people running politics. That's the reason why our politics...
Because they're going to have the people on their like as the number one
Because
focus.
the only money that they're going to be getting is from the people.
Right.
So now, if we need to get cancer, let's say...
But it's like, where does that money come from? Like, where are the people going to fund this money from?
From tax dollars.
It's going to be... Okay.
It should be from tax. Singapore did this years ago. Singapore used to have a problem where politicians were only doing the bidding of corporations. Singapore, they changed that shit. So now it's illegal. If you decide to get money from the private industry, you can go to jail for a very long time. But the one thing that they did was they said, now that you're only getting money from the people, if you become a politician, you are instantly a millionaire in Singapore. So this is what it does. It changes the dynamics of how people interact with their politicians. Because now, if I vote for you as a politician, right, my tax dollars are paying you. Now that you become a politician, you're instantly a millionaire because now we've raised the amount of money that you get to make. What does that do to the constituents? Now the constituents are holding you to what you say because now we know you're a fucking millionaire. Now we know that everything that you're making is from my tax dollars. And it forces the populace to be more involved in politics. But that's not what they want here. They don't want that here.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Right?
Yeah.
So I say, if you ask me what can we do to change, I say one of the first things to get rid of soft monies, increase politicians' pay threefold. Therefore, the people know if I vote you in, I just made you a millionaire. Where the fuck is my water? Where the fuck is my shit? How come we don't have good education? It would change everything.
But that doesn't that kind of turn into, what is it? Not a democracy. What's this? It's what Stalin was, like Joseph Stalin.
Socialism?
Dictatorship.
Dictatorship. Yeah, okay.
It's like there's just fucking this one. But that's the thing, is that you're giving this one person too much power.
No.
And power comes great responsibility.
No, a dictator's different.
That'll fuck up the whole system.
We're talking about bringing democracy back to the people. Right now, democracy is for the big corporations.
You know what the crazy? You know what? But if we really like try to look at it, then Biden became president right around the same time COVID started, right? Like it was like the same year, same couple months.
No, it was Trump was in office. Trump was in office when COVID sprung off first. Because he was the one.
2020.
He's the one who started. What is it called? Warp Speed, Operation Warp Speed, to get these vaccines out fast. Trump was the first one to do that. He was president when it happened.
So I think,
and then
maybe that was his purpose to get reelected. Was like, hey, if you keep me in office, then I'll get us out of this vaccine situation.
Oh, of course, he tried to use that, But I think a lot of people just was sick of his toxic nature. Man, There's a lot of people that just couldn't stand that.
Yeah, man. Damn, bro. And then Pfizer.
But soft monies, bro. Remember that. Soft monies is everything. Get rid of soft monies, dude. Think about it. If you think about it,
it makes a lot of sense.
You can have that domino effect. Be like, yeah, dude, if we got rid of corporation monies in politics, the people would be more pissed that the politician fucked up, because I'm like, dude, you make $3 million a year and you haven't done shit. Get the fuck out of here. Now it's not that case anymore. Now we don't have that power, because now the corporations have the power. The power is just like, hey, bro, the people don't like you. We like you. Here's $1 gazillion for your fucking campaign. Do your bidding. Actually, do our bidding.
Yep. Damn, bro. So I guess to end it all off, we're all just a bunch of guppies in a sea of megalodons.
We're fucked.
We have no power. We're absolutely fucked. Or we're not fucked, but whatever decisions they make, we gotta live it. You know what I realized? We're in chess, but they're moving the pieces, and all we can do is react.
Yes.
We can't move the pieces ourselves. They move the pieces, and then we just have to deal with it.
And all I can say is react with love. Try to react with love. Try to see the bird's eye view and understand how we're being manipulated, and understand that you got to try to react with love, because it's very easy to have these politicians get us hating each other.
Or retaliate against the pigs, against the machine. Like try to find the gaps in the system and finesse your way to the top.
I think those days are over, bro.
No, it'll work.
The rapper Immortal Technique, who's a political rapper who's fucking great, he said something that was very prominent. He goes, the problem with trying to change the system is when you try to change the system from within, it's not you that changes the system, it's the system that eventually changes you.
Why?
Because it's like the machine is too big for you to change. So, like, if you try to go to go into the machine to change the machine ends up changing you. Look at Obama. Obama is one of the best examples of that.
I mean another way. Like let's say this. Let's say you develop an army, and then like a secret army, okay? And then you do things just like you do. A
secret army. That's hilarious.
You do legal things under the radar. Like, for example, let's say, Elon Musk. Remember the whole GameStop stock? Mm-hmm. It's like, how can we take advantage of the system they've already produced? And then he did that. He's like, hey, I have 1 billion people following my lead. Hey, everybody invest in the stock. Everyone just fucking makes their fortune real quick, and then they come out. So imagine just one group just constantly doing that under the radar.
I think more of that is going to start coming up.
That's the future.
Or the future is the machines are going to eat us.
So that's the only way. You have to retaliate, but...
ChatGPT 2024.
ChatGPT?
You know what ChatGPT is?
No, of course I know, but what does that have to do with this?
The machines are taking over.
Oh, of course they will.
That's why I say ChatGPT 2024. AIs
for president.
Take over, yeah.
Bro, that would be a much better... You know what, dude? It's going to happen. The next... Like, Homo sapiens are going to get wiped out soon. Not because like the machines are gonna be evil, but like just like if you look at the progression of humanity, a good book that explains it is *Sapiens*. I don't know if you know Yuval Noah Harari.
I've heard of that book. I need to read it. I keep hearing good things about it.
And then he has another book coming about the future of like how technology is gonna change the world, and it's called Homo Deus. And it's kind of like the next Homo sapien. I haven't read that one yet, but just his philosophies and like a biology of life, the way he like the studies that he's gone through to make these books are so ridiculous.
Have you heard of Ray Kurzweil?
No.
Ray Kurzweil is a futurist. He predicts the future of technology so spot on. He's been doing it since the late 70s. Mm-hmm. His first prediction in the late 70s was by 1995, a computer will be smart enough to beat a chess champion. He was only 1 year off. It happened in 96. And as soon as that happened, everyone has been listening to him. He's written many books. One of them is The Age of the Spiritual Machines. And he talks about how AI is going to take over. And he believes the only way humanity is going to survive is that we have to merge with the machines.
That's what's going to happen.
Well, look at
that's exactly what Yuval says too.
Look what Elon Musk is doing. Neuralink. He's creating Neuralink. He's doing that specifically because he's scared of AI and he's worried that AI is going to take over. And the only way he thinks that we're going to be able to survive is that we can merge with the machines. So it's funny, man. It's like everything Ray Kurzweil has been predicting is starting to happen. And what's even funnier is that Elon Musk was one of the guys that started ChatGPT. And now that ChatGPT is taken off, he's not very scared. He's been outwardly out there going, I'm terrified about AI. I know I started ChatGPT and everything, but I'm afraid that a lot of people that are running it are not taking into consideration what type of peril that we're going to be dealing with in the future. And now he's taking a note from Ray Kurzweil and creating Neuralink to try to get us to merge with them. So this Homo Deus thing is probably a real thing, man.
Dude,
you know?
The future of racism is going to be us against machines, dude. And then it's going to bring the people together once and for all, bro.
Like Willie Simon has that joke like about how the machine's taking over and how he's going to
how
he's going to get older. And then he's like, he goes, my daughter's not marrying anyone that's chrome, you know?
Yeah, dude, but that's... It's gonna take over because if you think, you know what the coolest thing about it? First of all, if you read the book *Sapiens*, you're no longer gonna believe in God. Like if you do, then like it'll kind of like decompose it in a way of like, holy shit, like this is so man-made, and it's gonna be like a ridiculous like mind fuck for you in the beginning. But then you kind of learn that like, okay, if you think about it, AI can get smart enough that we can actually have a real artificial intelligence God. Like if you think about they can write its own like artificial intelligent Bible, and people can follow that as if like, and it's gonna be the first actual real God that is like perceived and created and is known.
You know, it's a quote that Ray Kurzweil said that I just talked about. There's a documentary on him called Transcendent Man. At the end of the documentary, the interviewer asks Ray Kurzweil, "Do you believe in God?" And he goes, "I do believe in God. He's just not here yet."
It's gonna be some AI fucking robot.
He thinks we are going to be that. He believes.
Oh yeah. Same thing with you.
He believes human beings are going to merge with technology, and we're going to be a bulk consciousness. We're going to be all interconnected, one giant hive mind, and then that's going to be God.
That's the same philosophy in like the Homo Deus and everything. It's like we're one hive mind, but also like we are going to become gods. But that's kind of like
this is a good discussion, bro. I bet that we could have fucking went for another hour right now.
I know, dude. But yeah. I mean, it is like, so moral of the story, the world is going to change you no matter what, and it's going to fuck you, and no matter what you want to do in life, the government is going to choose for you.
Not true. Stay vigilant.
So try your best, but they're always going to get you in the end, because you're just a fragile, very vulnerable human being with a very manipulatable surface in your brain.
Take care of what you can control.
They're always going to take advantage of you. And even though you think you have control, you don't, because one way or another, they're going to control you again. So try to just find peace in that control, but just remember, you're always just going to be a little guppy in an ocean of megalodons.
And just love the guppies closest to you. That's the only thing you can do.
And they will also be controlled and die.
And you got to still love them.
And you'll love them, but they're also going to get fucked over. And they might get brainwashed, and you'll hate them, just like him and his dad.
Yeah.
Something is going to happen to you or your dad or your mom. Someone's going to die, and you're going to start blaming. Don't blame. Just love.
Blame Biden.
See, that's the problem. Now you're being controlled by the government. You're always going to be controlled Enjoy your life.
All right, guy.
All right, my dude.
I'm so glad we didn't do this in your van.
Shout out your stuff.
Oh, yeah. Mike from Detroit. You can find me at MikeFromDetroit.com. All my social media links up there. I post clips every day. I'm on tour right now. I don't know when this goes up, but I'll be in Tampa July 6th.
Hey, bro, am I going to open for you?
Maybe one day. Tampa,
Damn,
July
bro,
6th.
Y'all hear this,
Atlanta,
dude?
July 8th.
Y'all heard this, dude? I opened for this guy at the Hollywood Comedy Open Mic. I can't even open for him at a show.
I'm at Indonesia
Hate
for
this
1
guy.
month on vacation. You can find me, Mike from Detroit, on everything. Instagram, Venmo, Pornhub, TikTok, Mike from Detroit, all one word. Find me. Meow, meow.
Later.